Hey now, welcome back to the Working Title Podcast on the Live the Dream Media Network. Clint
Yes.
Peaks here.
Good morning.
He
Good
is,
morning.
of course, our good friend here and big part of what goes on around here at Live the Dream Media and Copper Creek Cookies.
Amen. Hey, real quick.
Do we need to sell more cinnamon rolls before Christmas?
No, we're good.
Okay.
But if you want some, come on by. We'll take care of you. Hey, real quick.
Yes.
I got to shout this out. I don't want to wait till the end of the hour. Friday the 13th. That's this Friday. Come on by. Cookies, cocoa, Caroline.
Oh, that's right.
With the jazz band. It's 6 to 8. Yeah. It'll be fun. It's just a little open house, a little get together of the family and friends, and you are considered our family and friends, so come on by.
Love it.
Oh, by the way, it's 19 degrees Celsius in the studios, so therefore we are kind of bundled up.
What's the convert here? Have we converted yet?
Yeah, I haven't.
All right,
I don't know that kind of stuff.
19 degrees.
I'm going to say roughly 70, maybe a little under. Where we at?
66.
Okay. You were closer because you said high.
I said 68.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you were a little closer.
I'm going to round that up to 68, as we like to say.
I am going to real quick jump on here and share this.
Yes.
To our. There we go. Shared.
Oh, I thought you were sharing something verbally here.
Yeah, no.
Make sure you're
down.
down.
It says enjoy Chris and Clint.
Wow.
That's what we're doing.
Please download the Live the Dream Media app. Very important.
Yeah.
Easiest way to listen to us anywhere you're at. Also in the car where you can have a non-video feed of our audio so you can drive safely and have your own personal kind of podcast radio network in your car.
Did you see the board over there that our good friend, do you know him, Anton Chisholm over at Innovative Sign? He's got us a couple of nice boards over there with the QR code on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Live, local, news, updates. Hey, not just local, international now, baby. That's where
and the Chris DeSimone program Christmas channel.
Yes.
Music channel right now.
Yeah.
How's the music going so far?
Beautiful. Matter of fact, I had a couple of compliments on it in the last couple of days. One of them, our friend Roxy Ziegler.
All right.
Miss Roxanne was like,
nice.
Hey, Clint, I'm loving the music on the channel. I'm like, yeah, dig that.
Love it.
Yeah.
So I went we went to Mass on Monday night, and I go to St. Odelia's over by Tohono Chul.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taking Northern. I want to go the back way. So I went up Northern to Calle Concordia.
Mm-hmm.
Just see Chris likes to see what the Christmas light deal's going on out there.
I know where you're going with this.
And so we went past the beautiful OVCN.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give Pastor Craig and everyone credit. When I saw the tree that you have, the lighting was not as seizure-inducing as it was in the past.
There was some intensity before, wasn't there?
Oh, my Lord. I remember I was in the parking lot looking at it, and I felt like Frank Sinatra in The Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a suggestion to, go be a quiet murderer or something.
Let me give you the exact name of the person responsible for that.
Oh,
and that is Corey Norris.
Corey
Norris, who has done some work in here recently for us to kind of tone our lights down a little bit. I'm like, no, not in here. Oh, out front.
Oh, okay.
He did a little. We had him in here a couple of weeks ago. He's so shout out to Corey. Good job, Corey.
Very nice.
He's adapting it to some of us older folks because I get in his ear every now and then. I love loud music.
Sure.
But you're loud, Corey.
Yeah.
And if I'm telling you you're loud, can you imagine people that aren't really crazy about loud music? Same with the lights. Your lights, like you say, what's the word? Stroke-inducing or... seizure-inducing or stroke.
So you went to the Marana tree lighting.
I did not.
Oh, you did not?
I did not. No,
I bet that would be bittersweet.
Yeah, and that
without our boy there.
That was actually part of it. I was a little bit under the weather last week. I got a little bug late in the week. I don't know what it was. And Tammy, when we woke up on Saturday, we were fully intending to go, and she said, "You want to go?" And I'm like, and she mentioned that. She goes, "This is going to be a tough one."
Oh yeah,
without Ed there. I will say this: we're all taking it really tough, but Tammy and Ed were buddies. I've mentioned this before. They were tight, and the most difficult part of this so far with me has actually been when I had to share that news with her. The rest of it's not been easy by any means. This morning with our good friend Congressman Juan Ciscomani.
Yeah,
just what a shout out from the from the floor of Congress last week.
Oh, nice. I knew that was coming. So.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it. I knew it was.
You'll have to. It's running my. The easiest way, I guess, is just check my Facebook page out. I've shared it.
Oh,
I think
nice.
you'll want to share it. But he gave this morning when we were talking a really cool follow up to the shout out, and I shared this story with him, and I want to share it right now. This is a pretty cool story.
Yes.
I was talking to Ed's son, Whit, who I had the pleasure of meeting for the first time in October when he was here, and a really good dude, lives over in California, and Whit and I've been talking a lot. Tiffany and I've been talking to his daughter a lot, especially about the ceremony and things that are taking place, and we want to honor their dad's memory as best we can. And with them not being here, it takes more of a local touch to pull some of this off. So when he was here in October, and if you remember Ed's house, because you were there just recently,
I was
collecting your bet.
That's true.
And when you pulled up, the big picture window had a big, huge Juan Ciscomani sign in the front window, right?
I remember.
Well, Whit shared with me, and he said, "Please share it with the congressman," which we did this morning. He said, "I slept on the couch when he was in his dad's house." He goes, and so every night it was good night, Juan. Every morning it was good morning, Juan. Because Ed, as Juan said, he was unabashed in his support of Juan Ciscomani from way back.
Oh yeah,
early on, and he was unabashed about other things that he really felt in. He was pretty just our good friend Edgar Soto. He had no problem jumping right in from a different party, by the way, and knew he was going to take a lot of heat. And he's like, this is the guy. Unfortunately, Edgar didn't win, but that's just the kind of person that Ed Honey was. And I heard John Officer, and I've talked to John yesterday during the ceremony, or not ceremony, but the last week's town council when they voted unanimously 6-0 to name the complex after it's the Ed Honey Municipal Complex now, Marana. Ed had and I didn't think about this until after John said it, and I'm like, oh, that was what Ed excelled at. Relationships, number one. But Ed knew how to recruit the best team for a project and then basically just get out of their way.
Yep.
He was really good at that. And until John actually verbalized that last week at the meeting. And if you haven't heard that and you're an Ed Honey fan, you need to go back and check that meeting out from last Tuesday night.
So there's a lot of things regionally that they talk about how they train. There's greater Tucson leadership and these different things. I know that Marana does David's going through it right now.
Mm-hmm.
The chamber
does
Impact Marana thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's all well and good.
Sure.
But in the end, what we need to do is, and Ed would be like kind of he would be the guy to hold up as the example, right? Is we need good people to run for office. And Ed is a good place that's a good way to aspire to be like as a public official, right?
He was the prototypical politician because he wasn't a politician, he was a leader, right? I mean, he knew how to recruit and lead and inspire, motivate, cheer, and then basically, unless he had anything to contribute to that team, he went off and built another team to either support that team or to start a new project with. And he was, I think you nailed it in your first comments about him when like he was like, this is how you do it.
So we always say to people, who do you serve? Right? What's your thing? What's your jam? Right? So in relation to what I've done media wise and also politically and trying to work on campaigns is I've always say I'm an advocate for taxpayers, the small business person, and the working poor family that has no idea why things are messed up. Right? Ed always looked at everything was the lens of Marana. Right? And his thing was that I remember him and I talking about this a little bit. He goes, Chris, my thing is I'm trying to figure out there's that family that's just at the park. There's a Marana family at the park. Or is the guy or girl who owns the coffee shop in Marana. That's my lens.
Yeah.
That's my lens. I'm trying to figure out whatever we're doing politically, governmental wise, how is that going to benefit or hurt the girl, the lady who owns the coffee shop, and that family with 2.5 kids that are running around Silver Bell Crossroads Park.
You know, Ed had an ability to. He was more of a visionary than most elected officials are. Even though he didn't go out and say, "Here's my vision," but he actually had a vision. And I know a lot of Ed and I over the last 3 or 4 years spent a lot of time, sometimes just driving around old Marana, back these side country roads and
again,
stuff.
so,
and he'd point somebody out. There's a family, and he'd tell you the story going back to 1932 and blah blah blah, and the kids and the grandkids. But it was always about how do we make this better moving forward. This is where I've said it numerous times at this seat, on this show, on all of our other shows in public. Marana isn't where it's at by accident. There's just, hey, there's some good fortune. Geographically, they're located beautifully and all this good stuff. But the grandparents and parents of the Ed Honeys and the John Post and all these people, the Patty Comerfords that have been here for, in many cases, 100 years, built a community.
But also regionally, he knew with the rest of the region, you could do some things that benefit them and Marana, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also he was doing them and the whole council, and going back to Gilbert Davidson and now Terry, right, is the idea that they were protecting Marana from the nuttiness of what's south of Orange Grove. Mm-hmm. But they saw that the future was Pinnell.
Exactly.
Right? Not just stuff that was being developed in parts of Marana that were peaking into morale, into Pinnell, such as air park stuff, right? But at the same time, he knew supporting the Lucid Motors plant. And all of those things in Casa Grande were amazingly important for Marana.
Exactly.
Right? Because what was happening is it was creating a place where they already did such a wonderful job creating a place of good roads, safe, and good parks that. Now, Casa Grande, I'm sure there are decent fellows and girls that run Casa Grande, but Casa Grande is a crap hole.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't have the amenities that they don't have a place like now there's the Saddlebrook area that's good for 55 people, the Saddle, whatever they call it up there, right? But the rest of it's old and tired.
Well, you know how many times Ed sat in that chair or this chair right here, across from each other, and said exactly. He didn't use the word crap over Casa Grande, by the way, but he'd say, "Hey,
Clint, they got some challenges up there."
That's actually what. But he would say, "Hey, you know how many of these people are going to work at Lucid?" And he'd start dropping all the names. You know where they're going to live? They're going to live in Marana.
Yep.
They're a family of 3 kids. Mom's a school teacher. Dad works up in Casa Grande. Their kids are in middle school at Marana. They need a good, safe place to live. They need good roads. They need good schools. And we're going to provide that for them.
So think about this, right? It's the idea that you do the proper economic gardening, as we like to say, right? And that is parks. I know it's a broken record. It's good schools, parks, public safety roads, right? But look what look what Marana has scooped.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about this the last time. They took the Thornydale corridor in that annexation.
Yep.
Right? That included a Costco.
Yep.
And said, "Welcome to Marana."
Yep.
Right? The entire outlet mall.
Yep.
Right? Which is a huge source of tax income.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty easy to maintain from a Marana side.
Even though they didn't name it properly, but I'll let that go because they got Marana Center at the bottom now. So
right. But so they could have built that at other places in Bureau County. But you know something? Marana.
Yeah.
Right?
And now look at that whole area around it.
Oh, it's got it all going.
Everything's there.
The furniture place. The American Furniture Warehouse.
The car dealership. That whole area is. You know this as well as I do, Chris. We're going to build a new church. The Oro Valley Church of the Nazarene is going to be right around the curve there on Twin Peaks. Do you know what that's going to look like in, say, 10 years?
Oh.
Because they're developing it all right now.
I'm telling you, man.
You know, and
so, but the furniture guy, think about this.
American Home Furniture.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Right? They
has ingratiated themselves into the community because I know they were the title sponsor with our good friends
for Heroes. Mike and
Bonnie.
So they could have put that place in lots of different places. They chose Marana for a reason, right? And guess what happened? See, the other thing is, what they don't realize is they totally took Levitz and it was like a finishing move in a Street Fighter show.
Yeah, what happened to
game.
those guys?
Well, they were imploding on their own,
but they'd been a while,
right? But this place opens.
It's over.
So I hadn't been to Levitz in years. I was buying if I was buying furniture, I was buying more stuff off of Wayfair than I was going to Levitz.
My last experience with Levitz was like 15 years ago, and it was actually we canceled the order. It got so shaky.
I'm just telling you that. Well, America Furniture Warehouse will be a future sponsor here at Live the Dream Media. Yeah. But if you go in there, you would never go into another furniture store again. Done. You know, and so the Cactus Moon's nursery place. Yeah. Right? That's a Phoenix. They got like several locations in Phoenix. Yeah. Right? They're huge. Marana. Hey, there's a reason this stuff happens.
Hey, I'm going to throw this out here. This is something that's I don't think this has been broadcast from the studios here at Live the Dream Media, but I'm going to throw it out there. And it's something that you and I feel pretty strongly about, and we're going to challenge this to happen. You know where I'm going?
I know where you're going.
Marana, let's take a really close look at getting involved with the Pinal County and making that move.
So Clinton's talking about the ability to
totally a legit move. I think it would benefit certainly Marana and Pima, or Pinal, and we could rid ourselves of this crapo, to use the word you used with Casa Grande, south of the river. No offense, but I don't
cranky government albatross.
I don't see them
the
fixing
county
themselves.
Of Pima. No,
I don't see them fixing themselves. And I know and love a lot of people that are involved with Pima and Tucson. Yeah. I really do. But you know what? At some point, we can't stay together for the kids. At some point, we just have to go, you know what? My life is my life. We got to do it the best way we can. And I think it would benefit, and I'm not going to name names, but I've heard someone recently say, I'm not going to name, hey, can Marana just adopt, basically incorporate Oro Valley? And let's just go. I don't agree with that, by the way. I think Oro Valley, which where you and I both lay our heads at night, has its own character. It needs to be better, but I don't agree. Marana could be better. Hey, I'm not going to say there's not flaws and things over there.
Oro Valley is always there's a town council problem, right? But the town council problem is really driven by a demographic situation.
I think that's it.
All right, so I bet Marana's median age.
Oh, I can tell you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Oro Valley?
55.
54, 55. Okay. 54.5, actually. So you need.
Okay.
Marana, you want to guess?
45.
No.
42.
Lower.
39.
39.6.
See, I know. Huge.
And now, that was a year and a half ago.
Still.
And I'll tell you why I know that to be a fact, because of Mayor Ed, coming back to Mayor Ed.
Sick with our talking issue, about that great guy.
With our issue at Oro Valley Church of the Nazarene and the growth. And when he whispered kind of in my ear, hey, Clint, MCN, Marana Church of the Nazarene, he was the catalyst behind all that. It happened right out here in my vehicle in October of 22. And when he started breathing that to existence, now it's a reality. 97% was the vote a couple of Sundays ago.
Right.
There's a special board meeting to clarify some stuff this past Sunday. This is going to happen. Okay, his vision is going to happen for sure. And that's when I started looking at it and went and did the demos, and I called the pastors at OVCN and in a meeting. I'm like, hey guys, check this out. 54, 55, the demographics in Oro Valley. 39 in Marana. Marana wants us. Oro Valley doesn't. We're building a youth complex. Where are we going to build this? Where the kids are that want us, or where the old people are that don't want us? So, it's a no-brainer.
So it's a big, and it hit me on the demographics of Oro Valley even more when I was trying to get the answer for Amphi School District, which is it's a middling would be my. They're okay. They're not.
Well, I'll put it this way, Chris. They're sliding backwards. They're not moving forward.
Correct.
Because one of the reasons that Tammy and I chose in 2002 to move to this area was because Amphi, the school district, was the best in the state. Amphi and Marana in that goodschools.net or whatever it was we were looking at that time, they had the highest scores. They were the place to be. Oro Valley, Marana is where you want to be.
And over the years,
kids.
they both declined.
They slid south.
But Marana looks like they're trying to make trying to turn.
I'm telling you, Dr. Dan Streeter over there this is a bounce. This is a gradual change. This is a philosophical change at the core of things of how we're going to do
I
things.
think someone needs to do a leadership conference sometime next year.
January 23rd, all day long at Oro Valley Church of the Nazarene. Live the Dream Media. Go online. LTDM. It's a John Maxwell thing, and Dr. Dan Streeter is a keynote speaker.
Thank you.
And you know what? We're so stoked by that.
You're welcome, Dan Streeter.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Live the Dream Media is basically going to be closed that day, so we can all be there and participate.
Wow.
Somebody will have to be in the studio so we can do a little remote, or maybe we'll just do a live remote from up there and not try to run it through the channels. But yeah, this is exciting.
Yep.
I know when Craig Coulter, again dropping names, OVC in August, when he mentioned this to me, I'm like, yes, I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in. And here we are. We're coming around. By the way, you know who one of our key sponsors in that now is? Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
Chick-fil-A is gonna feed us.
They don't do anything with Christians.
Not at all. On Sunday.
So we were talking about, we were talking about education, like Marana School District, and it made me think of the demographics of when they were going for bond overrides and stuff, which I told everyone not to vote to, but enough of you did that they got more money.
Yeah.
How many Amphi schools in Oro Valley are pretty empty?
Yeah.
That's the other problem.
Yeah.
Right. So we know Push Ridge Christian's rocking and rolling. So think about this. I know that like Copper Creek, where I live, was probably built for 1,200 kids, but it's at 500.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where my kids went to.
Yeah. I bet Painted Skies in a similar situation up in Vistoso.
And you know who's just packing them in? They don't have enough room to put them all in there.
What's that?
Lehman.
Yeah.
Right up the street from me.
So Lehman,
they're
Push Ridge,
banging them in there.
I don't know what basis is at if they're.
They're the same.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're the same.
We
used to do a little bit of stuff over there. But they keep building. Think about that. They just added a new building in the last 2 or 3 years.
Oh, they did. That's right. So, but the public schools overall, now while those schools might be busy, I think overall and back to your 55 versus 39-year-old age demographic in Oro Valley, Oro Valley is turning, as I like to say, Sun City is expanding.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I see. I just saw a young couple. I see it in my neighborhood. I just saw another, and my neighborhood, which was definitely more younger families, right? I keep seeing them be replaced, people with young families being replaced by seniors or Airbnb houses. So up at the top of my street, house, mom, dad, 3 kids, they moved. Nice older couple, took it over, right? They're great. I love you, George.
Yeah.
But you can see that trend's going on.
We still got a few kids in our. Yeah. We got a little park across the street from us. You still see a few kids out there, but not like when of course, my kids are grown.
So Marana is a younger, right, more vibrant community that wants to move and groove and grow smartly. Oro Valley, we're now stuck in no growth.
Yeah,
we don't want to build anything. Yeah. Elizabeth Robb, who is a new council person, basically got interested in running for office because she hated the expansion plans of Oro Valley.
She lives right across the street from
Nazarene. Right?
Yeah.
She's the one that her campaign sign was complaining about the La Posada building, right? Which is already built. And literally, this is vote for me. Think about this. Her campaign message was she had a picture of the La Posada and said, "We don't want that."
Yeah.
That's how she got on. That's how she won.
Hey,
we don't want.
In regard to some of this, I understand it. I really do. I was talking to my buddy Kurt Hicks. We're going to be taking some cinnamon rolls up to Oro Valley Police Department here as soon as we're done with this show.
Yeah,
I love the man. His parents live in that corridor, so when they say everyone around OVCN doesn't want it, it's a majority that don't want it to be built. And guess what? We're not going to build it there. We're going to build a sanctuary and move on. But I understand, and I'll tell you why. I've been where we live now. At the end, when we moved there 16 years ago, we were into the road. Well, that's no longer the case. I have to come out of my street doing 45.
I remember.
You know, because they've knocked a hole through there, and they've built a traffic circle, a new school. The buildings are taking. I get it. That's called growth,
right.
And it was not necessarily comfortable. But guess what? Over this time frame now is now 5-6 years. So for 10 years we had a pretty good run. It's quiet, and now there's activity. Look, it's okay. It's called growth, and I can't be a hypocrite and say, you know what, we got to stop now. My neighborhood needs to stay as it is. The rest of us, we're going to grow.
Human nature, right?
You know, not in my backyard, but in my backyard, all those things have taken place in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And you know what? We got those traffic circle worked out great, by the way. I thought it was going to be a mess.
Right.
Worked out great. We've got another new school to educate the kids in Oro Valley at Lehman Academy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new homes behind us, which quite frankly has increased the value of my home because there's a lot of other homes in that neighborhood. Yep. It makes it easier for me to move around if I'm going north because there is now actually a road up there. The fact that there are people living behind me, some of these people I know and care greatly about. I've got new cool neighbors.
The average bear doesn't know if you kick La Cañada past Moore through that neighborhood.
Yeah.
You can literally get back up to Vistoso Highlands Road and get back to...
Yeah, all the way up to,
back to Vistoso Boulevard.
Yeah, and over to
so
Catalina.
What Oro Valley has to figure out is... what do you want to be when you grow up, right? But the problem is the straw that stirs the drink right now politically in Oro Valley are all 65 to 75 years old, okay? So that's an issue. They won't be here for 20 years from now, okay? The other problem is they don't want a sales tax, a property tax. They want an extra town property tax. They don't want to annex, right? Because we've messed that up every which way but Sunday over the last 10 years, right? You don't want any sort of smart growth that generates more sales tax revenue. But I'll go back to Levy. And you don't want a property tax.
Yeah.
And what do you think a municipal budget at Oro Valley is going to go down?
Yeah.
It ain't going down.
No.
Right? I mean, this is a place that when they were doing their stupid golf course deal would tell you that because they weren't hitting the extra money for they didn't take that much money out of the contingency fund to pay for it, that this is all of a sudden a success, right?
Well, have you honestly, I mean, I'm surrounded by golf courses, not a golfer, love it.
We got a dead golf course up there.
Well, it's behind my sister's house in the neighborhood I live in. And I'm fine with it being that way, but from a business standpoint, do you realize more golf courses are being almost like 3-to-1? Because I did a little research on this at that time. Golf courses aren't gaining, and I'll tell you what's gaining when it comes to golf is what's this over here? What do they call it?
Topgolf.
Topgolf. Yeah, those places are exploding.
Yeah,
the golf courses that we grew up with the guys from the Rotary Club and the Lions Club and all that.
I gave up the game years ago.
We're closing
pickleball, baby, pickleball.
Exactly. So you have to evolve and change with the times, and that's where I think. But you don't do. Guess what, Chris? You don't do that when you get to my age. You really stop doing that when you get to your age.
When you get 50, I stopped in my mid 40s.
You just okay, let's just coast to the end.
I keep telling the story. I literally picked up my clubs were on my front patio. It was garbage day. I brought the garbage can in, and I said, "Oh, I think these clubs might fit."
Good fit.
And I literally picked it up and dropped it in, and then moved on with my life, and was happier ever since.
That's why I love what we're doing at Live the Dream Media. Is we're surrounded by young people. We got Raul in there. Show yourself, Raul.
Raul's like
identify yourself.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, look at this guy.
See, we were out with David and his lovely family last Saturday night. We did go. You mentioned Marana tree lighting. We did not go to that. Partly because I wasn't really feeling 100%, and partly because I just wasn't really up to the whole we're going to be missing Ed thing kind of. That was still pretty fresh.
So you hung out with Dave and the kids.
But we all went to Oro Valley Church of the Nazarene for the tree lighting. I wasn't there a long period of time, and you can see a picture on my Facebook page. There's a whole bunch, and everybody in that is under 60 except my bride and I.
Hey, Raul,
But a bunch of 20s and 30s.
Bring your beautiful face back on the screen again.
What's up, guys?
So let me ask you a question. I haven't done this. I'm going to be probably torturing you more with these questions in the future. How old are you?
24, brother. So
tell me, as a 24-year-old guy, intelligent, total stud, right?
Yeah.
What is it like? What is the what does it feel like trying to figure out life in Tucson, Arizona as a young 24-year-old? Now, you've been blessed to hook up with the Live the Dream media guys and doing what you're doing and growing a career in your own show here on the network. But for the typical 24-year-old in Tucson, Arizona, what's the prospects like your buddies and things like that?
First of all, I'm blessed. I'm around really good leaders. A lot of people that I work with in this job for sure, and then my other job, they're really hard workers. So I get to be around people that just grind. But if for a young person growing up in Tucson, it's different, man, because a lot of people are just thinking one way, and that way's put our country and Tucson in a negative direction. So it's really just we're really sheltered in Tucson, and the hardest thing is trying to find the right way to live life here, because being around Tucson for so long, the direction that they're in isn't the best thing to live your life like with everything going on.
So I'm just saying I'm sure Raul's like, I didn't think I was going to get grilled during the show today.
No, I love it.
What's it like for your friends, boys, males, females, whatever in your world that are in their early 20s? What's the prospects of working in Tucson area, or at least growing some sort of meaningful career other than working? I guess you can go work in local government because there's lots of local government jobs, but what's the prospects to really successfully grow a career when you're 24 years old in Tucson, Arizona?
I think the main thing you could do to try to build your own business and build your career is develop relationships. That's the main thing. That's why I'm at Live the Dream Media with the relationship I had with my uncle and Clint. That's the number one thing, but it's hard because a lot of people, kind of growing up, kind of seeing what my dad went through when he was Pueblo High School. A lot of people don't have those relationships, so it's difficult to get where you want to be. But at the end of the day, I think if you want to have a successful career, you just got to put your boots on and put your head down and work hard.
What's your buddies doing? Where are they at? You have a good head on your shoulder. That's why Clint and the boys keep you around here. What are your buddies doing? Where are they? Are they going in the military? Are they working some restaurant job? What are they doing at age 24 around here?
24. So my baseball buddies, we're all trying to get in baseball somewhere or another.
Right.
Trying to stay in it. A lot of people are like me at the point we've been doing this so long. We're looking to become coaches, and I'm really excited for the opportunity I have coming up to be a coach again.
You're coaching?
Amen.
Yeah, coach. I can't say where yet.
Yeah, it's just exciting.
Is it a school or a club team?
High school. I'll be a head JV coach.
Nice.
So I can't say yet because I'm superstitious and they don't want me to say anything yet. Everything gets.
See, that's a smart man right there.
And I'm waiting for it to be official. But yeah, then my buddies. Well, I'll say this: one of the reasons why I love working at High Wire is because everyone's older than me and they're dealing with being a single father, a single mother, and they're working 3 or 4 jobs just to make ends meet. And it shows me like, hey, even though I'm tired, these people have so much more going on than I do, and it motivates me to just say, put my head down, keep working, because some other situation is a lot worse than what mine is, and just keep moving forward.
Beautiful.
All right, and as I say, don't have kids out of wedlock, people.
Yeah, you see why we you can see
it's
why
Christy
we
Simone in the abstinence hour here.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Hey, you see why we love that guy right there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Raul, we're just so proud of you. You came highly recommended, obviously, but he's earned every bit of all the success, and he's starting to achieve some success. The Southern Arizona Sports Talk Show that he hosts has just it's just blowing up, and the people that are responding to him and jumping on his show. Professional athletes, local sports figures and legends, people running local sports businesses. I know he's got a state championship coach coming up next Friday.
When are we going to start broadcasting like some real good Fight Club stuff? Right, that's
that's his forte.
Oh, you got me going on that
Yeah,
one.
see, look,
when is that
there
going
is.
on? We're going to have a couple of like a camera on two guys beating the hell out of each other at the river's edge on Flowing Wells. What's going on around here?
Well, we had wrestling this weekend.
Oh.
We were at the William Bell tournament. We'll be at the Flowing Wells tournament in January. And then we also have some fighters coming on in the future. We actually we sponsored 2 fighters that were fighting in Miami last week.
Wow.
You'll have to get some pictures of those, Raul. But we got the shorts on with the Live the Dream Media logo right there, and yeah, very cool. See, he fired you up right then, didn't he, Raul?
Yeah,
let's go.
I love baseball, and mixed martial arts have been my favorite. And also, I want to say thank you for everything you said about me. It's because I have great leaders like you, Chris, and Dave. You guys took a chance on me, and I appreciate everything you guys do.
We love him.
Well,
and you know what? It brings us closer together with his whole family. And I'm going to tell you something his mother did. When was that? A couple weeks ago, Raul?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, she shows up. Tell us what we had on the menu that day. Shows up. Grandma made some salsa, by the way.
Yeah, so my grandma made some salsa, and then we had some St. Mary's mini chimneys and some burritos, which were really good.
I like St. Mary's.
Yeah.
So.
She loaded us up. Dude.
Whenever we had a soccer game, that was sometimes we get scheduled at is it Menlo? Over there, there's a couple of 1 or 2 soccer fields at Menlo Park, and that was always the post game breakfast burrito spot was St. Mary's.
You know,
good tortillas.
I'm not naive enough to think that businesses. You hear it and people really talk about it, but it's not reality in most cases. That your business is a family. You know, it's just not. But our business is kind of a family.
Of course.
The way it almost is like an unwritten rule that if we can't break bread together and enjoy each other when we're not actually doing what we do, and we love doing what we do, but if we're not comfortable enough to sit and break bread with each other, then we're probably not going to be able to play long term. And Bezos, did I getting there? Bezos, he's got the and I see it floating around, and I really adopted this. I don't care how big and I've thought this before, now I have a way to express it. I don't care how big your company is. You can be Walmart by size. Everything still needs to operate on small team mentality.
Of course.
2 pizza limit and that's an Amazon thing is their teams are so small that if you can't feed your team that is working on a project together with 2 pizzas, the team's too big.
I like that. So in the end, right?
You could have 40 teams working together, interlocking, but the team that's working, there's a whole list of Alexa being one of them, created by a team 4, 5, 6, 8 people.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. We're going to need other people to engineer this.
Right.
But to create this, let's not complicate
I like that.
this.
I like the 2 pizza.
Yeah. And that's kind of how we're going to, our motto moving forward is we're a 2 pizza team. We might have 40 teams with 2. I hope we have 400 teams.
Right.
At the end of the day. Because honestly, David and I and everybody involved with this, including you and Raul, we feel like we're true pioneers in the digital world. I don't feel that. I know that.
Right.
And when people like Doug Martin was on yesterday and comes and they're like, what are you? Juan this morning said, man, the way you guys are doing this is so important to be able, we're not 90-second sound bites, 15 minutes, and then we got to do a whole list of commercials. We're going to do those things because we got to pay bills. But
correct.
This is more like, hey, let's get the word out. I've got a dear friend coming in real soon. His name is Craig Sawman Sawyer. I don't know if you know him. He's into the child rescue and the trafficking, and he keeps talking.
I think about Anton Chisholm.
The cool thing about Craig Sawman Sawyer is he talks about this guy's a hardcore. He's a badass.
Okay.
There's just no doubt about it. In a good way. I mean that in a good way. But he talks about censorship and how, and you know what? That's one of the things I'm going to talk to him about and make sure he has available to him through our resources. There is no censorship here. As long as you're preaching the truth, the gospel, the way to do it the correct way, nobody here is going to censor you. We're not controlled by FCC or any of that, so there's no censorship here. We don't have some governing board somewhere that we're responding to. David and I love this. We talked about it a minute ago. Hey, if we want to make a decision, we don't even need a pizza. The two of us can look each other in the eye and say, hey, let's do this or don't do this.
No, you guys got exciting stuff cooking. So, hey, Mr. Raoul, thank you for letting us pick your brain. I appreciate it. Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Commando?
Yeah, I do. Actually,
young Alyssa Milano will play his daughter.
Yeah.
And there was this little...
Really good. I'm not a big Schwarzenegger movie guy.
Yes.
The Barbarian. What was it?
Conan the Barbarian.
All that. But Commando was one I saw and really enjoyed. It was a really good one.
So there's this little guy named Sully. He's one of the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And
you got his picture there?
I could find Sully for you, sure.
Yeah, I just want to refresh my memory.
Okay,
I've got a visual.
He wasn't like a what do you call it? He wasn't a like a big guy that would fight you. He was like more of the kind of the little kind of stooly guy, right?
Yeah.
Sully.
That's who I was thinking of.
Okay. And so Schwarzenegger says to him, Sully, I'm going to kill you last, right? And in the middle of the movie, he catches up to Sully and he's hanging him upside down by 1 foot over a cliff. And the guy goes, you can't kill me. You said I would kill you last. And he goes, I lied. Right? And he drops him, right? There's some amazing Schwarzenegger one-liners in that one. Yeah. Like the guy he kills on the airplane that he's supposed to go with, he elbows him, breaks his neck, and he goes, oh, don't wake up my friend. He's dead tired, right?
Yeah.
So
when was that made?
84, 83. So I told you that we weren't going to hit you with quizzes anymore.
Okay.
I lied. All right.
So you told that story to tell me you're lying to me.
I just told that story.
Did Schwarzenegger also, I'm pretty sure it was him, play in a movie called Eraser?
Oh, yeah.
More like kind of almost the same character there, if I remember.
Eraser. That was the Eraser.
Yeah. So in the early 90s, I think that one was made.
I think that's right.
Late 80s, early 90s.
One of his great. I'm going to do more Schwarzenegger lines. Raw Deal. It's one where he's like an FBI guy, but because he went a little over the top, beating up or killing these two guys, he gets.
I think I saw that one.
Starts off, he's a small town sheriff someplace, and his wife hates living there. And right. And she makes the cake celebrating their 4th anniversary of living in this blank hole.
Yeah.
And then she throws it at him drunk. Right. And then he goes, honey, you should not drink and bake. Right. So here we go.
Okay, here we go.
What iconic Christmas movie character is Clint Peak? Other than Christmas, what's the most important holiday of the year?
Other than Christmas.
Halloween, Valentine's Day, December 26th, the day it's over, Christmas Eve, my birthday, or Easter.
I want to jump in and say opening day before all those.
Thank you, Raul. Thank you, dude. Opening day.
Opening day of
this year.
Of
It's
English Premier League?
March 27th.
Baseball.
And we got a big date, March 28th. All of us are going to go do it upright, my friend. I'm going to go with Raul's, but that's not on the list. So
Halloween,
I will go
Easter.
I'll go Easter. The birth of our Christ. So
your ideal Christmas day involves seeing the Nutcracker, a rager of a party, adventure, something different to what we did last year, spending time with my significant others. Food, I don't really care about anything else, or family, friends, presents, Christmas lights, and anything else Christmas.
Yeah, just friends and family is what I'm digging. Yeah.
The ultimate Christmas gift to receive this year would
cash.
Well, there's a charitable donation in my name.
Okay.
Like the Human Fund with Costanza.
Great reference.
A vacation.
Yeah.
A MacBook with a subscription to a variety of streaming, plus a car. A personal assistant to organize my life.
Yeah, well, that was not a bad idea.
Or a dog.
Yeah. Cash. I'll stick with cash. But whatever.
Charitable donation in my name?
Yeah,
okay, we got that. Favorite Christmas dessert? English trifle, Christmas pudding, Christmas cookies, pumpkin pie, or don't care, I'll eat anything.
I like pumpkin pie, but I don't care either. So
all right, I do a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, but I like pumpkin pie with about that much of the spray on the top of it.
Cool. Yeah, Ready Whip.
Yeah.
Favorite
the extra velvety Ready Whip.
What would be an ideal Christmas centerpiece? One, a Santa Claus ice sculpture. Centerpiece, what's the point?
Yeah.
A cheese pizza.
Yeah, okay.
Candles or a giant Christmas tree?
I like Christmas trees, so that might be offsetting.
Okay.
I like Christmas trees.
All right. Pick a Christmas tune. Mariah Carey, All I Want. 12 Days of Christmas, Jingle Bells, Rudolph, or I Can't Stand Christmas Songs.
No, I love Christmas songs. And I listen regularly to the Live the Dream Media's Chris DeSimone's Christmas.
Download the app.
Download the app
on your Android and Apple Store right now.
Jingle Bells is good.
So Jingle Bells or Rudolph?
Rudolph's good. I'm either one. Jingle Bell Rock with Brenda Lee and that Brenda Lee.
I'll do Jingle Bells.
Yeah, I'll do Jingle Bells.
What time do you usually wake up on Christmas Day? 4 a.m.
No.
I'm not getting out of bed.
No.
8 a.m. 6:30.
6:30.
Okay. And finally, Christmas movie I'd most likely. These are some choices. The Nightmare Before. Finally, the Christmas movie you're most likely to watch.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
No.
A Bad Mom's Christmas.
No. I don't know that one.
Love Actually, which is the English one.
I don't know that.
Elf.
Elf's okay.
Home Alone or The Grinch?
Well, my daughter loves The Grinch. She'll be in town this year, so I'll say Grinch, but I could do Elf. The first couple, now I'm not into that.
So pick one, Elf or Grinch?
I'll go Grinch because of my daughter, but I could watch Elf as a substitute for sure.
The iconic Christmas. This makes, I love this one.
Yeah.
You love Christmas. You love carols, the food, sweets, the cheer. You love Christmas so much, you often find yourself annoying the baubles out of people who don't love it quite so much.
Yeah.
And here it is. You are Buddy the Elf.
Yeah, that's kind of me. Although, you know what? It's ironic we're having this conversation right now because I woke up this morning and as I was getting ready to come down, we woke up a little early. We were trying to meet somebody early.
Yep.
I think it's because of a lot of factors this year. I'm not quite where I normally am with Christmas. Does that make sense?
The last couple of months for both of us have been wild and weird.
I'm not anti. I'm loving it. It's great. I'm looking forward for my daughter and son-in-law to be in town. My pregnant daughter and son-in-law to be in town. I love the whole thing. The whole thing with the Oro Valley Church and the lighting and going in there and seeing the trees but I'm just this is normally we start like in November. We're those people that have the tree up in the house.
I'm going to tell you. So so usually we keep our stuff up. One of the things I loved in the older version of the Catholic Church, we're talking 50 years ago, not too that long ago. They used to, you have the 12 days of Christmas where you would celebrate through January 6th, and then there was an Epiphany season through February 2nd.
Yeah,
so it was
that's
like
my birthday, by the way.
You're a Groundhog Day?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So is David's dad.
Oh, love it.
How cool is that?
We live the dream, media of we go beyond. What are we so in a rush for?
Yeah.
In relation to taking our stuff down.
Yeah.
What do you care?
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I'm taking my tree down the 26th. Why?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're just going to put your empty corner of your house up?
I'll tell you what we did one year. Freaked my mother-in-law out. She was with us when we lived in Phoenix. We had that tree up, and it was a real tree.
Oh, that's a little more dicier.
It was like, and we'd been going all before Christmas Day was over. That tree was out. Because it had just
that's different.
It had been littering.
That's a fire hazard.
It was a fire hazard, and I can remember Ann, bless her heart, she was just freaking out. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, the kids have been messing with it, and there's crap all over the floor.
I don't understand. What's the rush of taking our lights down?
But
who cares?
Well, you know what?
We're going to rush to do what? Take them down and have nothing?
We got the kind that we don't have to take down. We can change the
color.
The color.
Yep.
So if we want to put the white lights up,
I do scapes, man.
Yeah.
I go from Christmas to winter.
Yeah.
Then I go into spring St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Then I go patriotic
There
for the
you go.
summer. We
So,
do it all.
see, we're doing that.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
But does that make sense? I think we're both in that state this year. I thought about it this morning. I'm like, I'm in the season. I'm looking forward to it.
I
the
love
whole thing.
I'm a Christmas maniac.
You know why? Tammy and I said it basically every day is Christmas at our house.
That's not bad.
We talk about it a lot. So,
All right. God bless you.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Hey, you know what? Friday, the 13th, cookies over here. Top.
The next day is Wreaths Across America.
Yeah,
where we're going to be laying wreaths at different cemeteries at 10 o'clock.
I knew you had something else.
I'll be at the Marana, depending on what's going on with my day, I'll be at the Marana Veterans Cemetery. It starts at 10, and I've been saying this on Wake Up. Don't go on time.
Yeah.
Go half hour later. The speeches stink.
Hey, keep it real, my friend.
I'm telling you. And then remember, a week from this Saturday, we're celebrating the life of our amazing friend, Ed Honey. Yeah. That's at 1 p.m. at Town Hall at the Ed Honey Municipal Complex. Yeah. So,
hey, you know the drill. Be nice to each other, guys. Come on.
It's Christmas, for God's sakes.
Not that hard. It's not that hard to do.
Raul, thanks for your help as always, my
Love
friend.
you,
appreciate it. You're on Wake Up. Well, I almost said it again. You're
Working
on the
Title.
Working Title podcast. Wake up, guys.